So far, Polestar's assault on the EV market is going according to plan. The Grand Touring Polestar 1 received a rousing welcome. Around 29,000 Polestar 2s were sold in 2021 alone, and the optics look great for the Polestar 3 and Polestar 4 as well. However, there's a serious contender in the mix that we haven't mentioned yet. It started out as the Polestar Precept, but it will officially be known as the Polestar 5. This four-door hatchback is a flag bearer, a manifesto, and a true embodiment of the Swedish automaker's future. Well, if this is Polestar's future, we have no doubts that it would be just as bright as the sun. And the upside is, it has received the green light to enter production by 2024. Join us in today's video as we take a stern look at the Polestar 5 inside out. According to reports, we hear that this Swedish high-performance machine will be designed in Europe and manufactured in Asia. Want to know in which countries exactly? Keep watching to find out. Looking at the Polestar 5 from afar or up close, you could sense that the Swedish automaker had stuffed some dead gorgeous fairytale designs in the cabin. So we decided to begin this preview by uncovering what is hidden inside of this luxury, high-performance car. Sorry, we couldn't hold the suspense any longer. To gain entry though, we first need to get past the handle-free doors. Thankfully, all it takes is a light push of a button to unlock the doors. Speaking about buttons, Polestar might decide to install proper car handles for the production modem. But even if the carmaker decides to maintain the status quo, we'll definitely not get too many buttons in this car, because once you're within the confines of the interior, every single thing you need to control must be done using the large portrait infotainment screen in front. However, two things that we might have in excess are cameras and display screens, starting with the rear mirror, which isn't exactly a mirror per se. It's a screen that receives signals from a rear-mounted camera. Without this, it would be impossible to view what's going on behind the car when you hit reverse, because there is literally no rear window in this car. Polestar says the idea behind this design is to improve torsional stiffness and reduce weight. But is it really visible? Hyundai once made a car without a rear wiper, but getting approval for a car without rear glass is an entirely different game. We know for sure that yanking off the rear window is not road legal, at least in most countries, but we'll wait to see if Polestar will add one in the production model. Back to the screens now, we like that the infotainment display works with a human-machine interface system. This filters the content inflow and outflow to display everything that's needed, at the exact time that you need it. Screens are somewhat becoming a deal-breaker for car buyers nowadays. And to be honest, highly interactive infotainment systems are great, but then again, they can be a huge distraction as well. However, there is a special eye tracking and proximity sensor within the cabin of this car. What it basically does is to monitor the movements of your eyes and adjust the screen accordingly. What this means is that the infotainment screen comes on automatically once it senses that your eyes are fixated on it. Immediately you take them off, it goes blank and patiently waits until you beckon on it again. This is one feature that we would really love to see in the production model, and we hope that Polestar will do the honors. An additional 12.5-inch screen is installed behind the steering wheel, which acts as a customizable gauge cluster display. This screen will tell you everything you need to know about the car, from speed to battery life, and every other important driving information you see. Two small screens are also mounted on the door panel by the driver's side to show images from the side external mirrors. Every piece and corner of this cabin is designed to be inch-perfect, and for what it's worth, the components that make up the seats, headrests, and other parts of the interior were cut out from premium sustainable materials. Leather, wood, and plastics have traditionally been the most popular interior materials in cars, and even the world's most luxurious cars aren't exempted from this rule of thumb. However, Polestar seeks to redefine interior luxury by mainly utilizing soft 3D knit instead of leather, plastic, or wood throughout the cabin of the Polestar 5. Flax-based composites, reclaimed fishing nets, and recycled plastic bottles are also used in tiny amounts. So essentially, Polestar has created a large chunk of this gorgeous interior from nothing other than waste elements. Obviously, this car was built for drivers who want a balance between performance and luxury. However, with 2 rows of seats that can accommodate 4 passengers, the Polestar 5 could also appeal to small-sized families as well. Plus, there's plenty of leg and headroom, so you won't have to squeeze or strain your muscles during long-distance travels. Our impression overall is that this interior is absolutely grandstanding, more like a flawless recreation of a fairytale palace, if you ask us. But let's face it, there are no surprises here. With everything that the Swedish automaker did with the Polestar 1 and Polestar 2, we didn't expect anything different from the Polestar 5, and thankfully, the Swedish automaker lived up to expectation. Before we dig into the stunning exterior design of the Polestar 5, if you've made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. As with any other typical hatchback, the Polestar 5 features robust haunches. But the beauty of the Polestar 5 is far beyond muscular haunches, wide bodyline, and low roofline. Regardless of the angle you stare from, you're greeted with a rare sight of extraordinary art and some tech-innovative incentive to go with it. Those two elements are obvious in the front line, where Polestar took out the grille and replaced it with smart electric elements. Polestar calls this section a smart zone, and it has just about all the tech gadgets that any smart zone would have, including cameras and sensors. These smart electric elements are specifically tuned to aid the autopilot assist system. Talking about sensors, Polestar decided it's best to place the lidar autonomous system on the roofline. We're guessing this was an easy decision because that's the same arrangement used for other Polestar cars with self-driving capabilities. You'd expect a system like this to be broad and wide and basically take up space, but not in this case because Polestar has managed to minimize the size by enclosing it in a pod without compromising the efficiency or quality. To improve the car's aerodynamics, Polestar built a sleek vent around the front line of this car. Air passes through this vent that's placed a few meters above the fake grille and is let off through an almost invisible hole on the hood. Since it's an all-electric car, we expect that the Polestar 5 will have two storage spaces, one in front under the hood and another at the rear. The Swedish automaker also does some sort of paparazzi around the area where you'd expect to find the headlights. It looks all too similar to the Thor hammer-inspired headlights that Swedish carmaker Volvo used for the XC90 and some other cars on the SBA platform. Only this time, the Thor hammer headlights have been divided into two equal halves. This further confirms Polestar's intention to drift away from Volvo's design ideology. At the back, we have a slim full-width rear light and extra-large diffusers on both ends of sides of the car. According to whispers, the Polestar 5 will be designed and engineered at the Advanced Research and Development Centre in Coventry, England. But the finishing touches and actual building process will take place at the Geely-owned car manufacturing plant in Chengdu, China. Polestar has made it a norm to build cars in different parts of the world, and being a member of the Volvo automobile family, it's almost spoiled for choice in this regard. As revealed in our previous videos, the Polestar 3 will be produced simultaneously at Volvo's South Carolina factory and Geely's factory in Chengdu, China. It is left to be seen if the same approach will be used for the Polestar 5. Regardless of whatever other car manufacturing companies bring to the table, Polestar can be confident that the Polestar 5 will compete favorably and easily pull its weight among other cars in its category. Do you agree? Let us know in the comment section. Be sure to check out our other videos as well.